cybersecurity is a very essential part of IT, and we use digital technologies all the time, right? We have a smartphone, we have a laptop. Many people have an iPad, and some people, if they're rich enough, they even have huge workstations, huge desktops. So and since all these devices are connected to the internet, there is a threat of it being hacked, or any malware being installed in the computers or in your smartphones, wherever. And you're at risk, right? Your privacy, your data, your credit cards, everything's at risk. So today we're going to highlight why cybersecurity is a very essential part of anybody's day-to-day life, and especially why it's an essential part in IT, and why there's a demand in it, in the IT field.
Yes.
So joining us, we have a special guest, Omer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So
Thank you.
Omer, he's currently pursuing a bachelor in IT, and he's majoring in cybersecurity.
Yep.
And currently he's doing a blog on cybersecurity. So if you guys want to know more about cybersecurity, if you guys want to learn more, links will be in the description. You guys can go check it out.
Yep.
What
Sure.
exactly is cybersecurity, bro? Very briefly,
Um,
what is
uh,
cybersecurity?
so cybersecurity, I mean, you could say it's a lot of things, like, protection of information, data,
Mm-hmm.
vulnerabilities in computer systems, and it does include all of that. It really just boils down to just security of cyberspace. Now you might ask, what is cyberspace? Cyberspace is basically information and network with the goal of cyberspace is basically information network with the goal of protecting the operations and assets. That's very technical. Let me just break it down a little bit more.
Let's
Uh,
break it down more. Break.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
security around any computer system that you have,
Mhm.
and security can further be broken down into the CIA triad actually, and that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I mean, as the name itself suggests, confidentiality, ensuring that data is kept secure and secret, and integrity, maintaining that the data is correct, and availability in the sense that data is available when you need it. So in that sense, you would mean that, let's say there's an attack, and you need
Mhm.
to make sure that data is available when you need it, so you can bring the systems back up online. Integrity in the sense that you have backups of data, that you need to make sure that if data is lost, you have some sort of backup to be able to recover the correct data. And confidentiality in the sense that you need to make sure that people's data is secure, and that hackers are not able to, even if they get access to it, they're not able to understand what the data is because it's encrypted.
Okay.
That is what
Absolutely. Yeah.
a broad meaning, but
Cybersecurity.
yeah.
No, no, I think you really grilled it. You gave us a Webster's Merriam's-Webster, Merriam's-Webster
That
definition of it. But no, I get it.
it is. It is very important.
I get it.
Like
Yeah, it's
it is
basically
completely important right now.
Yeah, yeah, with the growing of how fast the internet
because
is
like I
constantly
mentioned at
is
the beginning,
growing.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's always going to be a need for cybersecurity now, given that we are all interconnected with the network. And yeah, I think it's extremely important. And yeah, there's always going to be demand for it, I believe.
Yeah. Like future is
Always
all
gonna be
about
demand.
IT, man.
Yeah.
Really, man.
Yeah,
It's all about IT.
especially the IoT devices that we have nowadays.
Exactly.
They're becoming
Oh
even more
yeah.
connected, and given that we have 5G is rolling out in most countries,
Mhm. Yeah.
and because of 5G, I believe that more and more IoT devices will be connected to the internet, and
Okay.
that's gonna create even more bigger risks. And
Okay.
yeah,
So would 5G like become a threat to data privacy itself? Would it?
um, I don't think
Or
so.
like
It's
Internet of
just
Things.
um, it would create a vulnerability in the sense that
Okay.
more um, IoT devices would be at risk. Um, in the sense that if you, so what we really need to think about is, because we're enabling all these IoT devices to be able to access the internet through 5G or whatever network that we're allowing it to,
Yes.
it basically it adds another attack vector for hackers to be able to use, and we need to make sure that that's not the case anymore. So we need to implement more security features into IoT devices, and just make sure that these are also new things that are also protected.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely, because like for example, I think Google acquired Nest, and Nest, for
Yep.
those of you who don't know, is like a webcam, like a door cam, a house monitor, something like that. Obviously security is very important for something like that because any hacker can easily hack it, right? So, and that is part of the whole internet of things sort of thing, and nowadays there's like smart bulbs and all
Yeah,
that, so definitely printers are getting smarter
yeah.
and getting
And
hacked too.
the more important thing around it is that all of these devices actually very recently, not recently, a while back, uh, people started hacking into these IoT devices and creating botnets, and they were using that to
Mm.
attack other like websites and company servers,
Okay.
and that makes it very hard to protect your own system because these are all coming from different IP addresses, and you're not able to manage everything properly. So
Oh.
now that more IoT devices are coming, that's going to make an even much bigger and like army for the attackers to use. So it's another thing that you still need to be very aware, I guess. Yeah,
Clearly, man.
Never thought of it that way.
yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So now let's boil it down. So now you're currently studying IT, right? So what exactly do you do in
Um,
IT? What are you learning? Let's talk about what you're learning right now,
yeah, right.
currently.
So currently I'm studying at Macquarie Uni in Sydney, and I'm doing a
Mhm.
bachelor's in IT with a major in cybersecurity. So to be honest with you, in my very first year when I was studying IT, I wasn't really studying a lot about cybersecurity. I only did like one unit, intro to cybersecurity, and it was all like topics around cybersecurity, like ethical
Mhm.
issues and issues surrounding like AI cars with AI, smart driving cars, basically things like that,
Mhm.
and but now I feel like I'm starting to study more interesting things or things that I'm interested by, which is offensive security, and that's what I actually started a while, let's say about a year ago, that I really focused into, and I look forward to that. Yeah.
Yes. What
Something
do
like
you
that.
use to work with cybersecurity itself? Program languages.
What sort of
Um, so
language?
to be honest, I mean, you can use a lot of different languages, and it depends on what kind of job you're doing. So
Okay.
scripting is what we really need, normally a lot of offensive security testers use, I
Okay.
believe. And so scripting is basically automating any task that you can. So that can be in any language. So we can use Bash scripting, we can use Python, we can use, I don't know, maybe JavaScript if that makes sense. But I think it's
Okay.
mainly Bash scripting and C maybe. Yeah, and
Even
also
C.
actually, I haven't been like across, like I haven't used C. Yeah, I haven't learned it either.
Even
Actually,
C, bro.
I've I'm
C is a
familiar with
nightmare.
the yeah, I'm familiar with Python and Bash scripting. I know a few other like web programming languages, but Python and Python 3 and Bash scripting is the ones that I normally use.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
when it comes
what?
to like different like software, it depends because there's lots of different fields in cybersecurity. So the one that I'm currently working towards is offensive security, where you try and basically help simulate an attack into a network so that they can improve upon ways that they were bad at. So you'll try to hack into the network, and if you were able to get in, you will like note it down and tell the company that this, I was able to get into your network through this area, and you need to fix this up. So things like that. So we can use different tools for that. So it depends what different softwares that you use, and then there's different fields. There's the opposite side of that, which is cyber defense, I guess, where you try
Mhm.
to prevent the hackers from getting in. So
Well, that's
you
fun.
would need to, yeah, you
Sounds
need to
fun.
look at yeah, you need to look at logs. You need to go through different logs, and I feel like that's a bit boring. But most of the people actually go for offensive security because
Okay.
it's got that aura around it of like hackers, and people only think that that's the only thing in cybersecurity. Just hacking, trying to hack into a network, and that's pretty much it. But there's so many different things in cybersecurity. Things as I mentioned, like cyber defense. There's malware analysis. There's OSINT as well. OSINT is basically open source intelligence and
Mhm.
using basically publicly available information to find information about a target or someone. So let's say I had to find information about Asura. So I could start with
Mm.
your name, and I could start
Mhm.
by going to your social media profiles. I could start by making a fake account on Instagram, find out information about you, go to your LinkedIn, see what you've done.
Oh,
So I could build out a profile as a target of you. So I could do all those things like that.
fantastic. That's the dream
Uh,
job.
yeah, it's actually very fun with the challenges that they make. but it can in the real world it can be difficult. So it actually is mainly used for like a lot of intelligence agencies,
Mhm.
like CIA, NSA, Interpol, MI6, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
uh,
Okay. The
so how
James
does
Bond
the
skin.
actual process happen? So you're like based on white hacking, right? White ethical hacking. So how does the process
yeah.
happen itself?
Um, so normally you just from my understanding is that you build your name in the cybersecurity world. It's so far I don't think it's that big in the sense that a lot of people know a lot of other people,
Okay.
and there's still a lot of space for other people to grow into. So what you want to do is build your name. So that's kind of what I'm doing with my blogging.
Hmm.
Putting my name out there so people see that I'm actually making a difference and I'm trying to show my interest in cybersecurity.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing in building my name, and just get, from my understanding, from what I've learned, is that you would want to get obviously certifications, and yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
yeah,
And I think you're writing Medium articles, right? So I think
yeah,
to further emphasize on your, sort of
yeah,
specification, you can do like, what do you call, Stack Overflow, checking their codes and all. I think maybe
yeah,
that's
true,
more for software engineer thing, but those are
yeah.
ways in which you can like enhance your portfolio.
Yeah, definitely. So I
Definitely.
actually, so the blogging that I do, I started off by sharing my own journey, and now I'm actually sharing different write-ups and walkthroughs. I've actually just started doing that recently, and
Hmm.
I'm sharing different write-ups for a platform where you can learn how to be an offensive hacker, and you can even learn different things. Like as I mentioned, like you can learn how to do OSINT, as I mentioned, and you can learn how to do cyber defense, and it's all available online, and most of it is free.
Hmm.
And so it's on a platform called Try Hack Me, and over there they so yeah, so each room is dedicated on a topic,
Okay.
so you can go to different rooms, join different rooms, and find out answers. Basically they'll give you a machine or some sort of question, or in the question in the sense that like a machine, they'll give you an IP address for a machine. You have to go to it, you have to try hack into it. They'll give you hints along the way, and you have to answer the questions that they give you. So yeah, it's a really fun activity, and I think that's really what motivated me to get into it, because it just feels very nice just to be able to
It
hack
is
into a system.
interesting. Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
So how does
Seems
these
very nice.
hackers, how does these base hackers gain access to network?
There's
Some
actually a lot of
methods, yeah.
reasons. Yeah, there's actually so many different ways.
Okay.
But one of the main factors that stands out is the human factor. A lot of people either don't use very strong passwords. A lot of people will get fooled into clicking on the wrong link, which seems to be a correct link, but it might actually, the hyperlink, the actual URL value might be different.
Mhm.
So people might click on that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, anyone could get fooled, even I could get fooled. So there's always the human factor is the weakest. That's the point. So what we need to do is increase our understanding of cybersecurity and our awareness to be able to make sure that these small mistakes don't happen, which lead to such big mistakes. So very recently, I believe there was solar winds attack that happened, which was very big in the US,
Mm,
and
Yes.
yeah.
so that was part of it was because of using weak passwords. And so we really need to like fix these things, very minor things that we can easily fix. And if we're able to fix all those things, then we can easily work towards increasing our security around so many different things.
Absolutely. So how do people hack your password? How do they know your password? For example, I know keylogging methods and all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you could be downloading pirated software. If you're downloading pirated
Yeesh.
software, it could seem
We
like
do that a
it's
lot.
act.
I mean, we don't.
Okay.
We don't. We
Okay.
don't.
I'm not doing it. I'm
If
not
you watch
doing
it,
it, bro.
you don't even know what
Yeah.
torrenting is.
So
So do okay. So pirated softwares are dangerous.
yeah, pirates are actually one of the actual ways that a lot of malware is transmitted actually, and it's not
Okay.
always that the case. But if you know where to get your stuff from, then maybe if you trust your source, I guess maybe you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But obviously it's wrong, so don't do that. Uh,
Obviously, yeah.
but when it comes to, yeah, a lot of people. So there's also a lot of like fake ads, I guess, and people click on the wrong links. They're not sure. So I don't know. Make sure you use like ad blockers or something. uh, yeah, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
I'm
another
sorry,
way.
yeah, I've kind of forgot the question.
Yeah,
What
no,
was
no,
it?
that's yeah. So like, fishing and yeah,
Yeah,
that term is
yeah,
fishing,
back to it. Yeah,
fishing,
phishing.
farming, right?
Yeah,
Fishing, farming, like those are ways in which you can
yeah.
people
So
install a malware or a
yeah.
what do you call
So
spyware or
basically, you're
whatever.
looking for a pirated content, and that could actually have the pirated content as well as the malware. And
Okay.
you might think, oh
Mm,
well, it worked, so there's nothing wrong with it. But the malware is actually installed on your computer, and you don't know it. So make sure that you have an antivirus, and like Malwarebytes, that's a pretty good antivirus that I
mm,
use.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And
same.
don't download files from sources that you do not trust. Don't click any links that you don't know from email sources. Um, like and also obviously phishing emails, which is very uh, big thing still. And the way to go about making sure that you don't fall for a phishing link is that phishing links will, or emails in a sense, they will actually pull you into a sense of emergency. They will want you to, change your password real quickly, or quickly enter your change your password to be able to get your access back. Or they'll say that that we need your password for something, but no company ever needs your password because they never actually store your passwords. Actually, on the online, if you see, they don't really
Okay.
store your passwords. They store hashes of your password. So yeah, you got
Hash,
to be
yeah.
careful
So
not to
your
give your
passwords are
password out
clearly
to
encrypted.
anyone. In a sense, yeah, they're encrypted. Yeah.
Okay.
They Yeah, companies don't actually know your actual password. They know a different form of your password that
The
you can't
hash thing,
derive
yeah.
it back, the hash. Yeah. So
Okay.
they basically run your password through a function, a hashing function, which is
Mm-hmm.
a one-way function, and you can't get it back from the hash. You can't get your password back from the hash. The only way you can is you can compare the password hash again. And if the password, so let's say you register a new account, you'll enter your new password, and it'll create a hash of it, and it'll store it in their database, in the company's database. Now, let's say you want to log in, you'll enter your password again. What it'll do is create a hash of that password and compare it. If they match, then that means your password is correct, and that's how it works.
That's the
That
goal you're
way, your
saved by the end.
password, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
And
goal
there's
you're saved
also
by the
other
end.
things like salting, making sure that protecting against dictionary attacks. And there's, it goes on like more in depth.
More in depth, yeah. All right, all
Okay.
right.
So recently I knew a person. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
recently I knew a person. So he was attacked by hackers and he's lost his YouTube account. Okay. He lost
Mm.
his YouTube account without
Yeah.
having a two-step verification. Is two-step verification very important for a Google Access account?
Definitely.
Oh, good
Actually,
one.
yeah, I believe that it's very important. Nowadays, people think that they are safe with, even people think that they're safe with two-step verification when they're using their mobile numbers, and that is
Okay.
not secure because
So
hackers are able to use SIM jacking, where they're able to use they're able to jack your phone number and be able to get the 2FA code on their phone. So that way, they're able to log into your account using
dude,
the
I have been
two-factor
using
code.
it since 2 years, man. Couple of years. I have
Yeah.
been using it.
So
Yeah.
two factor is good, but you have to make sure you use the correct ones. So I believe the good ones would be using Google's authenticator.
Okay.
Um, so applications like that. But the most secure one would be to use an actual physical key. So the one that I use is a YubiKey, and
Mhm.
YubiKey, I can Bikey. So it's a
Okay.
physical key that you can plug into your computer or your device. And the one that I have, it actually has NFC enabled, so I can just tap it on my phone. And the only way I can get into my password manager is with my very long password and with the YubiKey that I have. So once I use that YubiKey, and then I can access all my passwords.
Okay. Can hackers actually get into the save password which we have in desktops now? Like all this Google password which we save normally?
So it depends how you
Oh,
save
in
the
the
password.
browser. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
So
browser
if
stuff.
you store the passwords in your browser, then it's not safe at all, because browsers are very notoriously known for like bad encryption or bad I guess encryption, yeah. And it's very easy because um basically you guys know about JavaScript, right? So
Yeah.
if you go to an untrusted website, it might run JavaScript on the website, and you might what it might run a malicious script which will download your cookies, or it will download your all your bookmarks, or maybe whatever else is available. If hackers might be able to do that. um, Not 100% sure about all what they might be able to access, but they can definitely do that. They can steal your cookies, they can steal your browser passwords. So the best thing you should do is leave the password management to a password manager, and leave the browser to access web pages, which is just that. don't add any like, don't think that the browser will actually keep you secure, because they keep on adding new features, like again, the password manager
I should remove all
that
my
they have.
passwords right now itself, man.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Oh,
dude.
I'm doing
I've
that
actually
right
I've
now.
actually
I'm doing
written
right.
a blog post on password management. That's why
Okay.
I
Ah,
remember all of this
links
stuff
in the
very well.
description.
Link is below, baby.
Yeah.
Go check that shit out.
Uh,
All right.
yeah. So the best one I would recommend is Bitwarden, and yeah, that's the one I would use. I was actually using LastPass, but if you're using LastPass, stop using LastPass.
Oh shit, really?
Use yeah. So LastPass is actually not open source, and in the security community, that is a huge like red flag, I guess you could say,
Oh,
because
okay.
open source means that you're hiding your code away, and you don't want other people to know what
Oh, okay,
ways.
okay.
Yeah.
It's proprietary
So
code,
the
yeah.
best approach in cybersecurity is the crystal box approach, where you show your code to everyone in the world, so that hackers, even everyone else, can be able to look at that code, be able to look at it from different ways, find flaws in it, and then fix it. And then once you have fixed it, then you can release it openly. That way, you have no flaws in it. So that really shows, if a company is open source with their code, that shows how confident they are in their code, and have
Mhm.
regular if they have regular security assessments of their code, then that's good. And I think
Nice.
Bitwarden's one of the good ones, so you should definitely try Bitwarden. And they have a lot of features like syncing across different devices, so you should definitely try that. They also have, I think, two-factor authentication, or like using their own app. So if you want to try that too, that's go for it. So, and one
We'll
more
talk
thing,
about.
just one more
Yeah,
thing about
sure.
password
Go ahead.
managers, just
Yeah.
about passwords, is that with passwords, even you don't want to know your own passwords, because uh, you want your passwords to be completely randomly generated. And the
Mhm.
best way to do that is using random password generators. And
Okay.
yes, Bitwarden does come with a random password generator. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, you don't want to remember your password. You want the password manager to remember the password for you. And most password managers have the feature of autofill. So let's say you're on Instagram and you're logged out, you can open your password manager, copy your password from there, or automatically it'll ask you autofill from here, and you don't need to remember your password at all.
Oh, fantastic.
Shit.
Yeah, so you only need to remember one
Links in the
large,
description.
yeah, you only need to remember one large master password, and that's,
Okay.
you can write that down somewhere and put it in a safe or something, put it in a few places, and then you'll hopefully you'll be fine.
For my whole lifetime, I have been following the wrong steps, bro. Clearly.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
quality content. This is
Yeah.
I know,
absolute quality
right?
content. We are so glad we got you.
Dude, seriously,
Holy
boys.
shit.
Thank you. Dude.
I
Okay.
mean, at
Yeah.
least what you guys have been doing is implementing some good things, right? So there's always something. I mean, you guys are definitely doing something, taking a good step towards your security. And you should always just keep on improving, keep on doing the
Exactly,
best that you
exactly.
can.
So I want to know about privacy. So we talked about security. What about privacy? How can you protect yourself from internet privacy?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, as you know, in the news, Facebook, Google,
Yeah.
uh, and even Apple, actually, all
Mm.
very big tech giants, they all use our data to
Yes.
an extent, obviously. And there's always that, that they might be looking at our data, and Facebook, they make it so that they
It's for the
try
ads,
to,
right?
yeah, to show ads, exactly. And
Shows, yeah.
Google makes it so that your products are your, they try to improve your daily life through like IoT devices, like
Mhm.
like ambient, using lights, so it'll automatically adjust your time. If let's say you open your lights around like 7 a.m. or something, and it'll automatically do that for you. It'll adjust to your different that's, I mean, I guess a bad example, but it'll adjust your it'll take your data and then adjust around that, so it's working around that, so that makes the product better for you. And I guess in a sense that's good, but then still there's also the possibility, there's also other things that Google collects, so many different things. And there's Apple, which says that they are against data collection, but
Okay.
I believe they
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 do that. They
also,
do that.
yeah.
So, what
uh,
are your thoughts about WhatsApp policies, the new updated ones?
Oh, good
Uh,
question.
to be honest, I haven't really looked a lot into it, but from
Okay.
my understanding, they've already been doing that for a long time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Facebook
now
has
they've
been doing
just
it.
made it official. They've just made it official that this is what we're doing, and now you can't really, fine us or take us to court for that or anything like that.
But
So they're
people
just
are
covering
encouraging on
themselves.
moving on towards Signal and Telegram, right? So, what is your best
Definitely,
app?
you should. Definitely, Signal or Telegram. you should definitely go for those applications because those are one of the most trusted and even like vouched for by different very well-known people. I
Okay.
believe Elon Musk recently said that,
Yeah, he
and a
said
while
that.
back.
Signal,
He
yeah.
tweeted it also.
Yeah, and I remember there was remember the NSA hacker that
Yeah,
the
Edward
US
Snowden,
was
right?
persecuting, Edward Snowden. Yes.
It
It
was
was even he
He
said
also, I
Signal.
think, he mentioned that you should use one of the either Signal or Telegram. So both of them are pretty good. They're end-to-end encrypted, so there's good. That's good. Yeah.
okay.
That's good. And so we talked about communication. So are there any ways we can protect our security and privacy? For example, web browser. I know DuckDuckGo is a
Yeah.
great way
Yeah. So
to search
why?
stuff. What about like browser and all?
Yeah, so actually, just one thing on. So actually, when you
Yeah.
search on Google, it saves a log of your record. So if let's say if a company wants to subpoena your records, let's say they
Mhm.
want to call, say like I want this person's IP addresses records, Google will be able to give your records. So everything that you do is being recorded on Google. So that's like a
Mm-hmm.
privacy aspect. You can look more into it from that was my understanding. So everything you search on Google from your computer's MAC address or IP address, I believe that is recorded on that, and they will be able to identify you if let's say something occurs. That's from my understanding, and that's why I use DuckDuckGo, and DuckDuckGo doesn't really do that, and
Mhm.
they also don't manipulate their search results. Google has been, I feel like um, alleged, I guess, to change their manipulate their search results. So yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you're right.
And for
So
browsers, as you were saying, no,
Mozilla,
yeah, I use Mozilla. Yeah, Mozilla,
Mozilla,
Me
one
too.
of the
I
Mozilla.
open
use it.
source
Yeah, I
ones.
use it. Yeah.
Yeah, open source ones. Let me just check my. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, so let me just tell you the extensions that I use, I guess.
Oh,
Um,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
so I
Good one.
use the DuckDuckGo extension. I use HTTPS everywhere. So that's
Yeah,
actually pretty
same.
good. So
Yeah,
that makes sure that you're using the HTTPS protocol instead of the HTTP protocol, where
yeah.
HTTP is unprotected, encrypted, whereas HTTPS is encrypted. And so
Okay.
it's much more
Mm-hmm.
secure. So let's say you're going to a website where you want to buy some things. If you send your credit card details through, and if it's HTTPS, then your data will be secure. If it's HTTPS, then there's a possibility that maybe the website might, or someone might steal your credentials off the website if they're in the same network. So you got to be careful. Um, Make sure that the website has HTTPS in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I use uBlock Origin, and
What's that? You block.
so uBlock is ad blocker.
Ad
Ah,
blockers.
okay.
Yeah, ad
Yeah,
blockers.
yeah,
Ah, I block.
uBlock
All right.
Origin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I use Dockread as well. I really don't
Oh,
like.
same here.
Yeah,
Yeah, same. I
nice.
don't like light. Yeah, same.
Yeah, yeah. That's and I use my password manager's extension.
Yep.
Extension. All right, all right. Yeah, pretty similar extension
Yeah.
for me as well. Yeah. I also use this one called, I used to use it. It's called a Discovered or something like that.
Uh,
It's also something very similar to DuckDuckGo.
Okay.
It kind of like, protects, you can search through Google, but they stop them from tracking you.
Yep,
So that's the only
that's the
thing.
one.
You get it.
Yep, you disrupt trackers. Yeah, so a lot of websites actually put trackers on you, so they're able to find out more information on you, be able to serve you ads, things like that, I guess. And that's actually a pretty good extension. I
Mhm.
don't know why I don't have it here, but I remember having it a while back. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Okay, brother. So, what is the dumbest conspiracy theories you have ever heard about privacy itself?
Mm.
Thomas conspiracy theory about privacy.
Yeah, data privacy and cybersecurity itself.
Um, Not the one comes to mind right now. It's just I think the 5G stuff, I guess.
I
5G,
was
I guess the 5G
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
5G.
That's
5G
the
Okay.
one
stuff.
that was it.
No, it
It's
was
not
super
that prominent
stupid.
here, but
Yeah, it was super stupid. Like the radiation causes coronavirus itself.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
they still
But
believe it.
People
yeah,
believe it.
They
that's
still
very
believe it.
weird stuff.
Yeah.
It's really weird because they think it's radiation sickness, but like, I mean, how is it
It's
spreading, right?
nothing. It's nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
It's just it causes a mild. What is it? A mild
I
headache.
don't.
Yeah, due to the frequency and all. That's it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't even think it causes that. I think I think if you're really close to a source, I think maybe like a
Probably.
router or something.
5G works only if you're close with it. That's it, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
not really that like health-wise, it's not really that concerning, I guess.
Yeah, it
It's
is
not,
Yeah.
not.
it's not nothing to worry about.
The only thing I feel like, again, I could be completely wrong, and
Mhm.
what it would be is that because 5G has like very the distance traveled is very small.
Yeah.
That means that they have to install more 5G signals in closer distance.
Yes,
So I
yes.
guess one
Hmm.
concerning thing would be like someone spying on you, in the sense that you know how normally in TV shows they show how they triangulate a signal for one person.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the same
Okay, okay.
way you could basically find out even more accurate positions of people.
Oh.
And your phones, our phones are constantly communicating, telling, let's say you want to receive a phone call. So let's say you have your SIM in your phone, and you're just walking down the street, and your phone is constantly sending out waves that I'm ready to receive a phone call. From
Okay.
my understanding, that's what I understood. And so it's constantly saying that I'm ready to receive a phone call, and as soon as someone does call, it says, okay, so it's over here. And so basically it's constantly tracking you. The signal tower basically is able to track you. So that's, I guess, privacy concern, I guess. I think it was Edward Snowden that said something. He was on a Joe Rogan podcast. I
Hmm.
could be misinformed, but yeah, that's just like a
That's
privacy
always.
concern.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah,
on the flip side, it can be really beneficial for like
exactly.
CIA,
Yep,
police.
yep,
So
exactly. Yeah,
there's also
it's
you know
always,
point
yeah,
to that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's it for today's show. Hopefully, we can get you back, Omar, for another
Another episode.
episode on
Yeah.
something else
Absolutely,
hopefully,
man.
on
yes.
on graphics card. You wanted to talk about graphics cards,
Yeah,
so maybe
definitely,
we can get you for that. So,
So
definitely.
Artish,
thank you, Omar. Thank you, Omar. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
uh,
So,
thank you for
thank you,
having
bro.
me.
like, comment, subscribe, do everything you can right now itself. So signing off, Colin.